For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off your order. Yo, what's good guys? Venom Fire here, back with another video, and today I'm bringing you guys my single back wing flex close offense. Now I already made a video on this earlier in the year, but this one's going to be completely different because I'm going to show you guys how to audible to formations like I form close, I form slot close, strong close, and overall just some of the best running formations. So it's a good way to come out in a single back set that's not only good with the run as well as the pass, and then you can also audible to some better run sets like I form close. So the way you're going to do it, first things first, you have to go to your menu or your MUT screen, your lineup screen, whatever. So what you're going to have to do is put a running back at your fullback spot. Now you could run this with a fullback, but I definitely recommend getting a running back, getting more speed. So with the Chiefs here, I subbed Le'Veon Bell at the fullback position. And the reason that you have to have a fullback or two running backs on your field is because I form close. There's obviously two running backs, same for slot close, same for strong close. So just running base single back wing flex close, you will have two tight ends and two receivers. So you have to take one of those tight ends and turn them into a running back. The way you do that is you just go to your fullback wing package. Again, once you sub that running back in at fullback, you don't have to do anything else. And now you see when I click on formation, we got McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and then we also got Le'Veon Bell. So it'll help me audible. Again, if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to audible to the I form close. So again, that's just something you have to do. Obviously, if you just want to run wing flex close, you could always run it with two tight ends or whatever. Let's go ahead and hop into our audibles though. We got stretch, we got dive, 4 verticals, and then smash. Now again, I'll be more focused on the run this video, but again, I will mix in some man coverage beaters. An ability I do recommend having is this tight end apprentice ability. Travis Kelsey has it in regs. I do recommend it, especially passing out of compressed sets. It's important that you're able to put your tight end on extra hot routes if you could. I would recommend also getting at least one wide receiver apprentice. Again, the Chiefs don't have that, so we're not going to be using it in today's video, but those help with getting corner routes, crossing routes, things like that. With that being said, we'll just start out with a basic halfback dive. I'll just hop in the 3-3-5 wide. We got dive, we got stretch. Starting out with the dive, I think the best way to do it is to motion Le'Veon Bell over from right to left, and then just spam A, snap the ball right about there. Again, 3-3-5 is pretty good against the run, and specifically the halfback dive itself, so it's not going to be the best. Another way I like to run the dive is to motion McCole Hardman all the way over, and that gives you big potential to cut it back left. Sometimes the hole will develop left when you go ahead and do that. So again, you will press halfback dive. There's one of two motions you could do. If you're more so trying to get to the outside, I would recommend motioning out Hardman. It's important that you recognize that you can't motion Hill, so really Hardman's the only guy you can motion. So if there's a guy you would prefer to motion, then I would put him at the outside. But if I wanted to run it right, I could motion Hardman over to the right side, try and bounce it outside. That time I had the hole up the middle. And really using motion in the run game is honestly the best way to do it. I always love to motion. It also gives off that you're passing the ball. A lot of people sometimes won't motion if they're running the ball, so it gives off that illusion that you are passing the ball. Again, I'll just try and cut it back to the left here. Right there, you did get a block shed, but if you had like some better blocking receivers besides Tyreek Hill, that would be something that you can do. Show it one more time here, just motion him out, and then right there, maybe I cut it back, do whatever. That was some bad stick work, accidentally held right trigger, but you guys pretty much get the gist. Moving on, we got stretch. Now stretch, my favorite way to run it is just simply flipped with no motion. So I'm just going to flip it and snap the ball. That's the best way to run it. Cut it inside, and look at that, we're almost going to get a touchdown. We get down to the 1 yard line. It's really difficult to defend the stretch out of this formation because it's symmetrical, but we all know that a lot of run defenses are out of nickel. In this case, the nickel cornerback's on the right side, which it usually will be. Sometimes you'll notice that they want that nickel cornerback aligned with the slot receiver, which means he'll be on the left. Then you just run it to the right. But in this case, in a lot of cases, I noticed that the slot corner is on that right-hand side, so I can just snap the ball, quick snap it to the left. Again, Tyreek Hill is going to give up a lot of block sheds throughout this video. That's just the kind of receiver he is. But even with terrible blocking receivers in right now, you notice that we have still very huge play potential. Again, gets the outside, you're picking up 5 yards regardless. And again, if those blocks can hold, you have a bigger chance for a big gain. So again, if I wanted to, I could always motion a tight end over like this, but again, you might bring someone over right there. We actually end up taking it to the house. So again, it's all about finding a run in this wing flex close and all these formations in general, and then using it to your advantage. There's tons of different combinations that you could do. It's about finding that right one. Again, I could always run stretch to the right, and this is something I like to do: motion Hardman over, snap the ball like that, and then again, you see the hole right there. If blocks develop, it's going to be a touchdown. So again, I'm not going to try and spend too much time here on the wing flex close. I'm actually going to go into some of the other runs, and then we will come back to the passing plays because I want to talk about all the runs, and then we'll move into the pass plays. We'll only be showing passing plays out of the wing flex close, but again, there are obviously some passing plays you could do, like out of strong close. I made a full video on that, so if you wanted to see that, you can definitely go check that out. But start out just audibling to the I-form close. We got power O, ISO, and stretch as my audibles. I'll just start out with the power O here. And I won't be talking about these runs for too long because I do have to audible every time, but just basic power O. You notice that we got Le'Veon Bell at fullback. Look at the blocks, and really just absolutely a killer play. This is probably my favorite run in the game. All power O's are good, and especially out of the I-form close. That one just simply flipped is absolutely dominant. Again, it's not that too long of an audible animation because you are going from compressed set to compressed set, and you can also get that little motion block animation. And now the one downside to having, someone fast there is that you're going to get, someone who's not good at blocking like a Le'Veon Bell, is you will get shedded. That's something that you kind of got to deal with, but in the passing game, it is definitely better to have someone like a Le'Veon Bell at tight end. Again, power O just flipped. Oh, geez, sometimes that guard just gets in your way. He literally just stopped me from picking up 20 yards, but you see the big holes, the big play potential. We got halfback dive again out of I-form close. I can get this little motion snap animation also when you're just flipping the play or audibling between the plays. That's really nice as well. Show that dive one more time, just the base ISO. And obviously I can wait for these players to set, motion over, but you're not going to get that little element of surprise that you would just simply audibling and quick snapping. Again, that's one of my other favorite ways to run that dive out of I-form close, just motion that receiver from right to left. The last play we got is the stretch. Similar to the wing flex close, I like to flip the stretch again and just run it to that side. And look at the blocks again. Just being able to audible between these formations is super important because, again, traditionally you wouldn't be able to. And just making him respect the pass out of a wing flex close every time, it's going to make your run game a lot better. Show the stretch again. I would flip it, and I would just get this little quick snap animation. I accidentally didn't flip it, but you see we still get perfect blocks just running it to the opposite side. So huge play potential. And again, we are in 3-3-5 wide, so a pretty sound run defense, I would say. Again, I don't have the exact setup. I'm going against the computer, but it's a very good run defense. Now, let's talk about the I-form slot close now. Now, typically what I like to do is audible from I-form close directly to slot close. It's kind of a mouthful, but in this case, it's very quick to audible between wing flex close and this I-form slot close. Take a look at how quick it is. I already did it once, and it's going to be a very quick animation. So again, you can't really get the motion snap thing, or the audible snap thing, but you see it's very quick. Just all you're doing is moving Le'Veon Bell from tight end to fullback, so it is a quick motion. Now, if you want to know what I was talking about with that I-form close to I-form slot close motion, I'll show that really quickly. It's where I would audible to I-form close, and then you can actually audible from I-form close to I-form slot close, and you can get a motion snap weird animation. So here, I'm in I-close, I'll audible to slot close, and then I will flip it, motion him over, and you see I can get that motion snap. Tyreek Hill's not getting set, and there we get better blocks than we did just waiting for them to be set. So again, that's why I mentioned that I like to audible from wing flex close to I-form close to slot close. But again, sometimes you will get a false start, so I typically don't like to just audible from formation to formation. If I am planning on running the slot close, it's very simple just to audible like that. And again, you won't be able to get that quick snap animation, but it is still a very quick play to snap. I like this blast out of it as well. You got the stretch, you got the blast. Both are very good runs. Again, you're just mixing in runs. You're trying someone's run defense, trying to find something that he can't, blow up in the backfield or something that won't work against it. Again, I can go like this, run it to the right. You see, look at the blocks right there. Very good. We get that good animation. And overall, it's just finding a run that he can't stop. Last formation I will talk about is just the base strong close. So again, relatively quick audible. I can get that motion snap animation audibling between the two. And again, strong close. If I'm struggling to pass out of wing flex close, I can audible to another great passing set in the strong close. So both are very good passing sets. I could audible, run PA deep cross or whatever, and then I can just go to work like that. Maybe I run a setup like this. But overall, it's just a very good couple of formations to audible between, and you can only do that with Le'Veon Bell at your tight end position or any running back at the tight end position. Again, you can obviously do it with the fullback. But yeah, with that being said, let's move on to our passing plays, and it all starts with the 4 verticals. Smash, kind of an afterthought. But 4 verticals, the reason it is so good is simply just because of Edwards-Hilaire's routes. Out of the 4 verticals, he's on this underneath route. That's really good against man coverage, and we really just use that to our advantage. So the first setup, we're going to put A on a post, we're going to block RB, and then we're going to throw B on a slant. So it's going to look like this. You can leave X on his route. We're going to motion him out anyways. But you got a slant, you got a post, and you got an underneath route. All will beat man coverage. I'll show you guys all the routes. Motion over Hardman, he's not going to beat man, but take a look at our first route, absolutely beats that linebacker in coverage. And again, even if it is a safety, the safeties don't have the best coverage stats or whatever, so they're not going to stick with him. And as long as you have like the same speed or better speed, it will 100% work. So again, that setup was B on a slant, A on a post. With RB, I mean, you could throw him on like a flat route, but again, we're focused on man coverage. That's not going to really do anything. But yeah, here's just the setup. I always like to have one extra guy blocking anyways, but you can just motion, snap, Cole Hardman. We got the slant. Slant's going to torch the man coverage. Obviously, in this case, it is a middle linebacker, so that doesn't help matters, but safeties, things like that, it's going to beat. Again, wing flex close is kind of weird. Passing out of under center is kind of weird because it's almost like it's difficult to press, especially out of compressed sets. I'm not even sure if this slot cornerback or this slot wide receiver can get pressed. Don't quote me on that, but sometimes the corners come out in weird spots and they get misaligned. It's really one of the benefits to passing out of under center. We showed the slant, we showed the underneath route. Now let's show the post route with Travis Kelce. He is on a safety here. Absolutely going to beat him in man coverage, air truck up the field. So again, that's just the first setup. Moving on, we got the second setup out of 4 verticals. You're just going to throw A on the crosser. Now I think there is a stat to get him like a little bit deeper. I'm not sure, but that is still pretty deep, and he's still going to beat man coverage. Again, what I would do is throw B on a drag here. I could also throw like X on a slant, B on a drag. If I wanted to, that's something I could do, or B on a slant, X on a drag, or I could just leave X on his streak route. But again, pretty much the same setup, just with A on his crosser. The crossers get really nice separation as well. Again, I think there's a way to get it deeper. I'm completely blanking right now. Someone just say it in the comments, but there is a way to get that tight end crosser a little bit more deep down the field. But again, it's pretty much the same setup, just with X on A, or with A on a crosser. Again, pretty much the only difference would be to put like B on a drag if you prefer that over a slant or something, if he's like double flatting. But again, B wide open. You got all of these players wide open against man coverage, some really nice man beaters. The next step to this would maybe be to actually just like motion someone over, like Hardman over, and I would go with him on like a zig route, so he's a little bit more useful against the man coverage. So here would be my setup, and then I would motion Hardman over like this, and then I would kind of motion snap him right there. You see he's gonna just sort of take up the flats. Sometimes he will beat man coverage on that zig route, sometimes he won't. And also, maybe if I wanted to like max protect, that is something I could go with. So example of a max protect setup would probably be this: B on a slant, A on a post, X on just a zig route, and then we can motion snap him right there. And boom, he's got the really good separation. So again, kind of got to snap him in the sweet spot there, but still very nice play design. You're able to block 7. You got 3 man beating routes on your field. Again, I could always go with just the same setup, but with X on a zig, and I can leave Edwards-Hilaire on his route. Maybe I throw RB on a deep route. Here I'll check down, but you see all these guys beating man coverage. and really you're not going to have to pass too much out of this, so it's not that huge of a deal. If you want more zone coverage setups, also it will be, or there's a video I uploaded earlier in the year that you can go check out, more so focused on passing against zone. But again, just giving you guys a couple of ideas like this, where maybe I throw RB on a streak just as a clear out, make him respect it, make him put a safety in the middle of the field, and just overall route combos like this. You can get even more creative. Just pretend I had like wide receiver or slot apprentice right here. I can throw B on a crosser, I can throw B on like a corner route, A also on a corner route, things like that you can get really creative with. So this isn't even as good as it could be, but you see, very nice setups. Overall, very good. Another setup you could do is just block your running back, A on a post, and then I would throw B on a zig, X on a slant, RB on a flat, something like this, and then I would motion him over. So you just overall got a ton of routes that will be open. Just use things like that, zigs, mix them in, motion them over, things of that nature. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for the video. Again, you also got this smash play. Not really going to talk about it because you see just running it stock against man. Obviously, Hill's going to get separation, but that's just because he was defended by the middle linebacker having to come over. If he's defended by a cornerback, that's not really a good separation play, and there's not really any good stock man beaters. More of a zone coverage play. But yeah, it's going to do it for the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and peace. I'm out of here.